All right. Can you believe it? That's right, it's 2026. And Father Moo coming back on the Nord Micro Modular. That's right, it's been over a year since I had this gear up and running. Hilariously enough, I used to stream the Nord Modular using my work laptop and sound card and microphone during lunch. But I switched jobs and I got my own little home setup here now. In fact, I moved to a new apartment as well. And I finally put the gear back together here in January. I don't think this is going to count as a January vid. It's really just to say hello to the half a dozen people who like to watch these strange streams and hear me explain what I'm doing on the mic. So I'm actually going to pause right now and just show you how the setup looks, shot from the iPhone. Okay, here's the new setup. This is my cheap microphone and stand. I think it's made by Shure. You can see my mouse, and then this is a at least 10-year-old 3-channel mixer. So channel 1 here is the microphone going into the EQ. Channel 2 is out 1 from the Nord Micro Modular directly. And channel 3, the knob is down here, out 2 from the Nord Modular into this zoom pedal, the multi-stomp, which is probably going to be usually a delay, and that then returns to the mixer. So the mixer is just my voice, 1 dry channel, and 1 affected channel. And of course, the laptop running the editor and recording the video. Okay, that's the hardware. You won't really be seeing that very much. I had a plan in mind this time to do things a bit differently. Last time I would just build a patch, usually from scratch. Sometimes a friend of the show would send me a patch to look at and try to figure out, which I usually failed at, but that's totally fine. This time my goals are a little bit more straightforward. I really want to do dub and reggae with the setup that I have. So I used to do just the Nord Micro Modular directly into the sound card, maybe with a bit of reverb, or if there was delay, it usually was a built-in sound card setting. Well, my current mixer doesn't have that. But what I do have is that Zoom multi-stomp, which lets you pick different delay modes, and you can also string together a couple of effects like delay into reverb or delay into phaser. And I've had the Zoom for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, longer. And I made some of my own little effects chains. So those are already set up. In fact, the one I am using right now isn't even made today. But the patch is made today, so yeah, like I said, I'm just going to briefly talk about the goals, and in some future videos we'll see it actually happen. So for dub techno, I think, I'm not going to give you a history lesson here on the genre, but if you know Basic Channel and Scion and Fluxion, it's going to be that kind of stuff. The tempos are probably 110 at least to under 130, but I also want to do like electronic reggae. One of the people who got me into synth music is a guy named Pole, who was from the Basic Channel crew, but he wasn't making techno as much as he was making reggae with synths and a lot of samplers and delays. And usually, of course, when you make dub, you take a bunch of instruments recorded to a multi-track and you send them to a mixer, and then you add usually delay on send 1, and then maybe phaser and reverb, or just reverb on send 2, and you send the different tracks to those effects feeds in real time, and you record the output. Well, here I'm going to do most of the mixing in the Nord Modular itself, and the reason for that is because I have two outputs. If you look here on the right, the Micro Modular only has two physical outputs, a left and a right. Well, I'm recording these videos in mono, so everything's going to be down the middle. You can see here that my left channel is running through a compressor. You can see the level on it there in green, and into L. And so these three channels in what's labeled Mixer 2 are going to the compressor and into the sound system. And L, or out 1, is the dry channel. There are no effects on this channel. The other instrument, which is here, is the synth chord, is the only thing going in. You can see the other two mixer inputs are empty, and they're going into R. And then in the real world, they come out of the Nord Modular, go into the Zoom, and then go into the mixer. So you would hear just this. So that's just channel R. Let's just look at what's playing that right now. Starting on the left, I try to organize things in vertical columns for clarity. So the left channel is clocks and sequences. This is the clock generator making 120 BPM and sending 4 pulses per bar to 2 event sequencers. There's no note sequencers here. So this one here, this little on switch, controls this sound. If I turn it off, you won't hear it. Right, it's gone. Turn it back on. So let me just turn off the zoom, although you can't see that on this video. You can hear it's just one little chord hit. But with the zoom back on again, there's a delay, and the delay is also filtered, and it gives it a kind of a, almost like a rhythmic feel based on the delay time. So we could also add more steps in here. What about this one? Right, so this output of a gate is opening a single AD envelope, which is here. Before the AD envelope, we have a normal filter, and then we have 3 oscillators in the old world naming system of Nord Modular that are called master and slave oscillators. Please do not write me letters about that. This one is tuned up a minor third. This one is on the root note, which is E. This one is down a fifth, so that's an E minor chord. They're all set to sawtooths, and they're all being filtered here. I said I would do the mixing in the Nord Modular, and in fact this nice slow LFO is patched into the filter, but its control amount is set to O. So let's turn this up a bit, and it'll tweak this filter knob in real time. Hold on a sec. So every time this chord hits now, the filter frequency will be in a different position. That has the effect of making some of the hits louder and some softer, but that's fine. A little more keyboard tracking will even it out a bit. Because if the filter is open when the delay engages, all the echoes will be louder. And if it's closed or almost closed, the echoes probably won't even be heard at all. So that's the only thing you're hearing through the effects channel. Let's listen to the dry channel. So here we have the drums. There's a kick, a cymbal, and this is my bass. It's just a sine wave tuned 2 octaves below the root chord. So why don't we take these apart a bit. Again, to dub it out, rather than using a mixer, I'm just going to remove hits from the sequencer programming it. So now there's less cymbal hits. going to take out one of the kick hits. Here's the one bass note that triggers. I think I'm going to add one in maybe here. 7. Right. So even though, as I said, I'm trying to do dub techno and dub reggae, electronic reggae, I guess you call it, my version of dub techno isn't very hard on the techno side. I'm not really obsessed with doing 4 on the floor stuff. I would rather use that tempo, but make it a bit more complicated or maybe less dance floor oriented than a standard dub techno track. Certainly this is not dubstep by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, that's the default little patch we got here. I'm still getting some of the levels right, and my mouse isn't ideal, but I think this setup will get the job done. For one thing, my budget is kind of limited, so I had to put this together with the gear that I had, not any gear that I bought. I think the only thing I bought here was the mic and the stand for about, I don't know, $40 US or so. But who cares about that? What matters is it sounds good and you can see how it gets made. I decided to build this one before the video started just so I had something to demonstrate the setup and the goals. But that's what I do. I'm going to be going back to the old method. I probably won't be exclusively dub and reggae because I'd probably get bored of that or run out of ideas. So there'll be some ambient, there'll be some noise, there'll be some clicks and cuts and maybe micro sound type things. But yeah, there's gonna be delays, there's gonna be echoes, there's gonna be attempts to make it dubby. So just want to say thanks to all the people who stuck with me. The subscribers are about the same as when I left over a year ago. The views are down, so I guess people are still subscribed but not watching. But I don't think there's many other people streaming the Nord Micro Modular in 2026. Although if you are, please message me, and I'd like to, collaborate on a patch or two sometime if you want. Of course, some people will know that you can use just the editor without the hardware, and I think it's C Sound, and run the editor entirely within computer hardware without owning the synth. So if you're doing that, I'd like to see that too. But I think I'm going to sign off for now. Hope to have more of these up. If they're not during January itself, they'll be in the coming months. I'm going to see how many I can keep cranking out here. So yeah, if you have a request for a genre or explanation, if you want a patch taken apart and put back together, if you have some other suggestion for me, let me know. But until then, thanks so much for sticking with me. Father Moo out.